Don't stop doing, but do. Kurvan eva. This Upanishad teaches us. Lord Krishna, of course, said in many places of Bhagavad Gita, Tasmat kuru karmaiva. He says karmaiva. That becomes a karma which is done with an understanding. Just simply doing is not enough. Some people say, I am doing, all things well. I don't believe in God, but I am okay. I earn, I never hurt, I never harm anybody, and I never do any charity. I never go to temple. I don't believe in God. I never, care the rest of the things. But I never harm anybody. I am just by myself. Is it not enough? No, because that's not the purpose for which the body is given. Body is given, mind is given, intellect is given, and the power is supporting you. The power which is supporting you, you need to be grateful to that power. And you need to be paying something back to the power. So that is what we call as a devotion. And the one who is supporting is called, in terms of the English, we call it a God. But here the Upanishad says it is Isa, that is Narayana. So when you are taking a lot from that and you don't want to pay anything to that, it is stealing something. It's cheating him, isn't it? Don't do that. No, I'm not hurting anybody, I'm not doing any injustice to anybody. It's okay. See, there are different species. Like trees are there, plants are there, humans are there, animals are there, and insects are there, and of course humans are also there. Among all the species, humans are more evolved, isn't it? When you are more evolved, and you should act as an evolved being, not as undeveloped creature. A tree, in spite of hurting, in spite of cutting, in spite of plucking flowers or fruits, in spite of taking away the leaves, etc., but still keeps on and on giving to the society with no expectation. Never asks anything from us. People drawing something from the tree, they make money, but the tree never wants to make any money. And the tree keeps on and on, just simply giving. If that much of state is there, I mean, you, a human guy, is equal to a tree, not equal to a man, equal to a tree. We see a dog, just you give something, a piece of bread, it works for you 24 hours, day in and out, without any expectation. Even if you don't give later, still it works for you. How grateful and how sincere service the dog does, right? So you are drawing a lot from that Narayana and from the nature, and you want to give anything to him, and thus you don't want to believe in him, and you say that, I am happy with whatever I am. I means you are not even equal to the dog. So we need to understand that. If we have such a kind of dedicated service, such a kind of faithfulness, such a kind of charity, such a kind of faith, we may be equal to those species which are in the world, in different stages. And you being more evolved than all those species, you should do more expanded activities than what they do. Is it not logical? This is what even the rishis also said to us. And the human body is given for that purpose. And you won't get it time and again. नर्तन बार बार nahi milate. You won't get it time and again, my friend. Whenever you got it, don't misuse it. Don't waste it. Use it. Means you have to do whatever those species do, and you should do more than that with intellect and with your knowledge, understanding the power behind, understanding that Narayana. And then those who are enlightening you with that fact, whom we call as gurus, like our Ramanujacharya, who went up the temple tower in spite of resistance from his own teachers, from many people, but he never mind his own fate, but just gave that fact, distributed that fact to the entire world and say, let the world be flourishing. Let me go to hell even for that reason, I don't care. But let the entire world flourish. This is what his generosity. Acharyas. I remember those acharyas. So, take inspiration from the acharyas. Walk in the path shown by those acharyas. And then look around you in the world and how the species are conducting themselves. Do that also to reach that level, and then keep growing. Growth should be this way, right? Growth should not be this way. Growth should be intellectually vertical. Intellectually vertical, not physically horizontal, right? So grow like that, and then whatever the good qualities among different species of this universe, you acquire them, adopt them in your life, and then grow, still grow, still grow. You grow, for which you should keep using all your tools very well. Your eyes must be observing, your ears must be listening, and your nose and mouth must be utilizing for better purpose. And take the breath in a proper way, and use mouth also in a perfect way. Of course, there are two purposes for that. One is intaking and one is letting out also. Use words and eat food. Eat good food, sattvic food. And use good words by which the world will be pleased. People feel happy. People get inspiration. People get motivated. Use these tools for that purpose. And use the hands and feet and other things also to help others. Because all these, the things that are around, are nothing but the divine form of that God. So, serving God again doesn't mean just sitting just simply with the God who is appearing with us in the form of a deity and then confining there itself. No. That is a form that appeared for us to receive our prayers and services. But his real form is always there. Isha Vasyam Idagam Sarvam. The entire universe is divine form. Find out wherever there is need. Work with that. If somebody is suffering from some kind of ailment, try to help him. Somebody is not having education, try to educate him. Somebody is lacking with his vision, and help him. Somebody is backward, bring him forward. And somebody is ill, try to develop him. Try to provide him stronger immunity. Wherever there is need, keep working on that, thinking that it is his service. Serve all beings as service to God. That is Narayana. It is reaching Narayana. And then that Isha, who is the commander behind you, allowed you to work in all these respects, feels happy. Yes, you are doing a good job. Then he just gives you encouragement. This is what the Veda says. That is called karma. Otherwise, it is what we call as work. We call it just simply work. But if you do that work as a karma, and then people call it as a service. That is what the Veda says. Kurvanneva iha karmani. And you have to keep doing the work, and your body is given for that purpose, and you should live with the activities only. But how long can I do? Yes, you know, don't question how long. You should live longer. Right? And the Veda encourages you. No, I don't want that encouragement. I want to die. Who can understand all these things? Why all these kind of botherations to me? Let me die. Don't say that. Jijivishet. You should aspire for living. Live strong. Live long. Jijivishet. Always we have to aspire for more and more years to live here and more and more to work. But how long? Setagam samaha. Live for 100 years. Hundreds of years. Why 100? Why can't we live 101? 102? Or 120? Veda says not just 100. It says Setagam samaha. You should live for hundreds and hundreds of years. But remember, as long as you are in good karma, that time is considered as life. When you are unfit for that, that is considered as death. Body may be living, you may be there, but with no purpose, then it is pretty much equal to death. We consider the guy as a one living. He is Vayam Sumapadam Vambu, Acharya said. And the earth feels boredom. The earth feels heavy to carry such a kind of person on her head. Don't become, grateful to the earth. But as long as you are doing work in a prescribed way, as recommended, for the sake of others, then that every second is counted as you are living. Setagum samaha. So, some people sometimes may live their life at the age of their 30s or 40s or 50s. But if they are doing their activity properly for the sake of whatever is dedicated for them, we can say that they are really living, and maybe that is 100 for them. That is what the nature fixed for them. That's God decided for them. Maybe. Some people, being in the duty, doing their responsible activity, they live their life. But we say they are eternal souls. Why do we remember a great people like Ramanujam, the mathematician Ramanujam, even today? Because every second they lived for a purpose. They did not waste their time for even a second. Whenever they sit, they keep thinking. Whenever they come, they walk, they keep doing something. Their every breath, their every step, their every thought and every movement of such people is with a purpose, for some goal, to help others, for the sake of betterment of the world. So, such people, whatever the span of life they lead, what we call as the 100 years of such people. It's not that, one should live 99 plus 1, yielding no purpose. That's not 100. Vedas always give us blessings. Satamanam bhavati satayuh pururah. Satayuhu, you should become Satayu. You should live longer and longer and full life with full of energy, with full of inspiration for others. Thus, living is considered as living, and aspire for such a kind of living. That's what is more important.
Shivagayatri Enterprises, distributors for submersible pumps. మీ గృహ వ్యవసాయ పారిశ్రామిక నీటి అవసరాలకు స్పైరన్ మరియు కోర్సా సబ్మెర్సిబుల్ పంప్స్ మరియు డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటర్స్ ఫర్ వాటర్ సాఫ్ట్నర్స్, హిమజల్, RO+ ఆల్కలైన్ వాటర్ ప్యూరిఫైర్స్. Shivagayatri Enterprises.
So the Veda says, Jijivishet Setagam Samaha, and you should aspire for such a kind of long life. Karmani kurvan eva, keep doing the work, and you should live for doing such a kind of activity. Why should I do such a kind of thing, Swamiji? Why can't I just simply just eat and sleep and enjoy the life, There are some people, who just, they drink a lot, they fill up their body totally with bottles and bottles of attacks and packs of stuff, and then they say, it is. They always lead their life in the daydreams, But Veda says, no, that is not the purpose of the life. Doing the karmas is the purpose of the life. Evam tvayi, this is for you. This is only the way of this life. Evam tvayi. Is there no other way? Nanyatetosti. There is nothing other than this. You just can't escape from this at all. If you escape, you become a sinner. Then, Swamiji, whenever we do something, whenever there is a moment, whenever there is an action, immediately it creates a record, right? When there is a record, and that becomes a vasana. When there are vasanas, it takes us to the other life, then to the next life, then to the next life. No guarantee what would be the next life of ours, isn't it? And we don't know where are we going. Fortunately, today we got the human body. And when the karmic records are created, when the karmic records are stored, and we don't know where we are going to the next body, whether it is going to become a human body or another divine body or a devilish body. We don't know that, right? So is it good if we go down from this? No. But is there any guarantee that we go up? No. Then why should we do this karma? Is there any karma that will not be creating any kind of records? The Veda says, yes. Na karma lipyate nare if you do this kind of karma, like giving up the attachment with the results of the karma, with the doership of the karma, and then that karma will not create any kind of a record on you. That becomes something called Kainkarya. Kainkarya, great service, divine service. See, one work with different names, yielding different purposes. One person with different names. We are understanding, we are observing in the world, isn't it? A person called as son by his father, called as husband by his wife, called brother with his siblings, called father by his son, called friend by some other guy. Only one, but with different names, isn't it? But each name has something to do. So also, one activity, when you understand the purpose, name is changed. Basing on how you understand, how your understanding grows, the name of that activity is changed. If just simply you do it because you have to do, crying, it is work. It's a load on the head. But if you do that as a duty, because I receive something from him, I should do this work. So it is a business. Because you take something and you give something. You receive something and you offer something. It's a business. And when you think, because I gave birth, I have to take care, a duty. Same work, but it's a duty. And when you do that with no expectations, then it is a service. When you do it as it is the divine command, then it becomes a karma. But when you do it for the one who is your life supporter, and you do with utmost love and dedication, it becomes a Kainkarya. It becomes Kainkarya. One activity is a boredom work, a duty, a service, a karma, a Kainkarya also. But when it is transformed as a Kainkarya, it becomes very powerful. Very powerful in two ways. One, it doesn't stick on to you. And then it erases the past records also. It purifies the manas, purifies the indriyas, purifies the buddhi, purifies the soul. Same activity, but you are qualifying that with your thought process. So, if you understand it as Kainkaryam, and then it is doing miracles. But how can you transform that as Kainkaryam? You can do it by understanding that there is one who is supporting me always, who is helping me always, and who is giving me all sorts of energy, and the whole thing around me is his object, and I am here to serve that. And because he is mine, and this is also mine, and I just can't stop doing that. So I do with love. When I do with love, I never expect anything. So when you don't expect anything, and that's all, you don't have any kind of ego with you also. I did it. Mine is this. Mine is the fruit. These are the thoughts. which become binding factors for us. All these three, when you think I did it, it is called kartrutva. In Sanskrita, it is called kartrutva. And when the kartrutva, it creates ahankara, ego. The kartrutva ahankara is a binding thread, binding rope. It becomes a shield, brings you down. And when you think, mine is this effort, this is called sangha. And that also becomes a rope to tie you up here in this nature. Sangha. And then you aspire for the fruit of it only for you, saying, I should enjoy everything of this. This result is because I did, mine is this activity, so I should enjoy the fruit. I only, not just I only should enjoy the fruit. That means this is called phala. And this aspiration for the phalam is also another binding rope. You have to just ignore these three. Don't stop doing, but try to ignore these three. Tena tyaktena, that tyaga bhava. Tyaga is dedication, giving up. Not the activity, not the doership, but these three bhavas, these three thoughts from your mind should be given up. Like phala tyaga, sanga tyaga, and kartrutva tyaga is called trividha tyagam. Tyagam is trividham. And if you do any activity with this trividha tyaga bhavana, that means you have to say that I did. No, because he is inside me. He is giving energy. And he is there all around. And he is the recipient. How can I say that I did? This is wrong. This is one thing. This is kartrutva tyaga. And when I see that because of me this happened, how can I say that? It's not just because of me. When he is providing the energy and when receiving that through that, then how can I say because of me it happened? So that the sangha, tyaga that comes when you know this. And when there are many people behind me who guide it for this activity, and because of them only something happened here, how can I alone expect that fruit of that? Hands did it, my feet did it, my eyes did it, my ears listened to that, my mouth spoke, and my heart functioned, my mind worked, gave logical conclusions. That's how I did it. I could do this. And for all these things, nature cooperated, air cooperated, water cooperated, earth cooperated, God cooperated. How many things are there? And the body cooperated. Without body, you won't be able to do anything, right, ultimately. There are so many supporters behind you. Adhishthanam tadha karta karanancha pruthak vidham vividhacha pruthak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. There are 5 shareholders for every activity that's happening through this body. That means you are doing, not all alone. When there are 5 sorts of support is there from behind, and one activity is happening, you one among them. You are just one among them. How can you alone claim the whole fruit when there are 5 shareholders? You should equally distribute that to everyone, right? The body is here. And for this body, your mom helped you, your dad helped you, their forefathers helped you, their forefathers helped you. So you are here.
కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ రంగాలలో దశాబ్దపు అనుభవంతో కస్టమర్ల మరియు శ్రేయోభిలాషుల మన్ననలను నమ్మకాన్ని గెలుపొందిన సంస్థ విఆర్ఆర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్. నాణ్యతకు నమ్మకానికి మారుపేరు విఆర్ఆర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్. ఇండిపెండెంట్ హౌసెస్, అపార్ట్మెంట్స్, విల్లాస్ అన్ని రకాల హంగులతో అలరించే అద్భుతమైన వెంచర్స్ తో పాటు అందరికీ అందుబాటు ధరలో సొంత ఇంటి కలను సాకారం చేసే నమ్మకమైన సంస్థ విఆర్ఆర్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్. Please visit VRR Constructions, Varatex Plaza near Radhika Theatre, ECL X Road, Hyderabad. Call to 9100885552, 9100885559.
For this, if you think it's a business, and there are investors behind, when there are investors behind, you have to give a share to them, isn't it? And when you are doing something with his body, there are so many teachers who taught you many things. They are also shareholders. You are indebted to them too, isn't it? And the whole nature supported you, are indebted to the nature, isn't it? While you are sitting, mosquito did not, bite you. You should be indebted to those creatures also, isn't it? You are occupying the places of so many creatures and creating your homes, and just you start living. They are also helping you. Okay, my guy, do it for better. You are indebted to them also, isn't it? And behind all these things, God supports you. If He says, I did it, He allowed you to say that. If He says, enough done, let's go, finish. The people around dispose his body off. Either they burn it, or bury it, or cut it in the college. He also supports from behind. So when there are so many supporters and each one is an investor in this business, and it's not a single business, it's a shareholding business, my friend. And you are one among those shareholders. How can you all alone claim that this is mine? Wrong. That's why dedicate what? Phala, Tyaga. Give up the aspiration of getting the fruit to you only, all alone. No. Phalatyaga. Sangatyaga. This happened not just because of you alone, but there are so many other supporters. Does it happen? And because of all of them, you are able to do this. So anything that comes should be given to all of them also. Sangha, Tyaga. And Kartrutva, I did it. There are so many instruments in this body too, which supported you to do this. And they should be properly shared with the results, with the fruits. That is Kartrutva Tyaga. He is the one behind. So Phalatyaga, Sangatyaga, Kartrutva Tyaga, if you dedicate all these three things and then do with perfectness, in a better way, for the cause, for growth, that becomes real growth. Such a kind of aspiration becomes a real dream, and you need to dream that way. You need to grow that way. Growth is not stopped, need not be stopped. You should aspire for growth. Anybody should aspire for growth. But growth should be this way, a better growth. See, body need to be grown. Good. Body need to be grown in a better way. I mean, equal growth must be there all through the body. If the muscle of the hand started growing so big that rest of the body is only just, very lean. And we don't call it a real growth, isn't it? And somebody head only grows so big, but the body will be only this much. It is not a perfect growth. And the stomach, grows so big. Head is small and legs are small and hands are small, but body becomes so just like a couch potato. We don't call it a better growth, isn't it? So, growth must be perfect. Growth must be better. Whatever activity that helps for such a kind of growth is called real karma. And when you do such a kind of karma, that means if you do a karma with trividha tyaga, phalatyaga, sangatyaga and kartritva tyaga, then only that becomes real karma. Such a karma never binds the soul here with its nature. Na karma lipyate nare. And it never creates a new record. It works like a fire that burns even the previous records also to ashes. It never allows the past things, whatever the bad records we already accumulated, all they also will be taken care of. And it helps you to become free from the bondages. We might have seen when we use some kind of water, etc. in the basins, in course of time there will be a kind of calcium deposits, or created, all through, or some kind of dust or dirt created in the pipeline, and then it starts blocking. What to do? And then water doesn't flow. We want the pipe must be clean, and the pipe is so long. Then what should we do then? Because it is created with the water, you otherwise won't be able to do anything. You have to clean it with the water only. But it is the water that created that, isn't it? True. But even the cleansing process also should start with water only, but not with the normal water, but with the treated water. Like you have to use acid water, acidic water. Add some kind of acids, and then see that water is flown through those pipes with, of course, with extended force. What happens? Whatever the deposits that are taking place earlier, they slowly will be melted, and then they will be flushed out of the pipe, and the pipe becomes clean. That's all it is. See, when there is a heart blockade, the arteries, when there is a blockade that happened, because of there is some kind of cholesterol, etc., that is formed inside the pipes where the blood is flowing. And then what the people do? Some people cut those pipes wherever there is a blockade, and they want to do a kind of bypass. Earlier people used to do that. Of course nowadays also there are some people doing such kind of things. There is another wiser activity. You need not cut and eliminate that which is properly, which is given already to you by God. What to do? There is another type of activity nowadays, our great scientists are doing. They are sending a kind of pipe inside that, and they are just cleaning that, just like we do with the coconut. Like that, they clean it inside the pipe, and they try to eliminate those deposits and make the pipe clean and free. There are different types of activities they do. Sometimes they just expand it and leave it like that. Sometimes they slowly clean it and allow it to flow out. But this, without the intervention of such kind of external forces, the yoga practitioners also do that. They say, all this happened because of the food, isn't it? Change your diet. There are good doctors like Dr. Dale Ornish or something like that from USA, who after making a lot of research, and then he came out with a book called, Reverting the Heart Problem with no operation or something like that. Without any operation that can be done. How? Very simple. Follow the Vedic way. All that he said in that book is just to follow the Vedic way. There are certain chapters, about 6 or 7 chapters in that, and in one chapter, exclusively he just gave some recipes how you can make your food. Follow the Vedic food. Don't eat meat. Don't eat alcoholic stuffs. Don't eat oil stuff. And just eat beautiful sattvic foods. And then he said, see, this is the way you can lead. And then it is so interesting. Do some kind of practice. It's called yoga. Over. By practicing the yoga, and you are able to do better things. You can do some kind of exercise so that those pipes, wherever there are the calcium deposits, and they'll be slowly will be addressed. And by taking in good foods, again those will be gone slowly, and no surgery is needed. Without intervention, those things will be cleaned. But the time, they said in about 6 or 7 months of time, if you really practice it, that's it, gone. What I say, karma is the one without our knowledge gone in a wrong way and created so many deposits of karmic records, vasanas. For them, again it is the karma, but a treated karma, qualified karma, dedicated karma to that Narayana or to that Isha. And if you allow the body to go through that process, and then it cleans all the past records, all the past deposits, all the things through this pipe, and then make this pipe clean and pure. Na karma lipyate nare. When the human becomes free from the karmic bondages, this is what it is said by this Upanishad. A beautiful Upanishad indeed, Isavasya Upanishad. It gave us perfect way of living the life. It never allowed us to die. But the Upanishad gave us a strong warning. If you want to die, remember, you are falling into the furnace from the pan. Understand? If you think that, no, let me die, I don't want to understand, I don't want to do all these kind of things, I cannot experience this kind of life, let me die. People unfortunately think that whatever that is given by God is useless, and they want to see that it should be ended up. But by ending up, we are not adding any good, but we are adding more bad. From bad, we are going to worse and worst. It should be used properly. Don't fall in the furnace from the pan. Grow big, grow well, do good things, and make it perfect tool. And Upanishad also wants that. You might have done something wrong, earlier, but it's okay. At least after knowing this, start leading a good life. Start living perfect. Start understanding properly. And then start responding accordingly. Don't react, but respond properly. The Upanishad warns, Asurya namate lokaha andhena tamasa vrutaha tanste pretyabhigachanti eke chatmahano janaha. Whoever commit any kind of wrong things like suicide, and it warns, they are not going to get any kind of good. They thought that it is bad, but the next step for them is worse. They are going into deeper troubles. Let them not do that. The Upanishad says, don't try to stop this journey by yourself. If nature does, that's okay. If God does, that's okay. Leave it to Him. Till the last breath, till the last drop of the blood is dried, keep on and on doing your duty as kainkariya, as service to God, for which the body is given, for which the senses are given, for which the mind and intellect is given, for which the scriptures are given, for which the great acharyas are there for us to guide. And they did a lot for us. They gave us so much things, good things for us to learn and practice. So know them and qualify yourself. Dream greater things. Dare enough to dream and dare enough to grow. Aspire for growth. Grow more and more and big. But for good, for charity, for sharing to the world, which is the divine form of God. This is the what Upanishad said. Of course, there is a lot in this Upanishad for us. For us to learn, for us to practice, for us to have a clarity of thought. And it gave us a beautiful mantra. The last mantra, of course, there is the 18th mantra, saying that, oh God, lead us for growth, lead us for excellence. Let us chant that mantra and just conclude our session. The last mantra goes like this. Om Agne Naya Supatha Raye Asman Viswani Deva Vayunani Vidvan Yuyodhyasmat Juhuranameno Bhuyishtham Te Nama Uktim Vidhema. Oh God, you are Agni. You always lead us for excellence. We aspire for that. But lead us in good path. Don't make us escapists. Don't make us cheaters. Don't make us sinners. Let us earn in a better way, in a recommended good way. Supatha, lead us in the good way. Raye, for growth and for betterment, for earning more and more. Not for our own sake, for my own sake, but for our sake. We want to collectively for the sake of the society. There may be so many paths, which I don't know. But you are the one who knows everything. I am submitting myself to you. Saranagati is more important. Be humble. Be honest. Be obedient. Be dedicated. That is what God expects from us. It is, in His opinion, it is bhuishtam. So the Upanishad says, Nama uktim vidhema. We dedicate ourselves to you. We say Namaha to you. Always be humble. This is very important. Don't become arrogant. Be obedient. And knowing that Isha, knowing that Narayana, if you lead an obedient life, a dedicated life, dreaming greater things and aspiring for growth and taking all the society with you, that is the goal of the life, that is the purpose of the life. Let's pray for that. Let God bless us with such a kind of ability. And if there are any kind of viruses that try to occupy us, let Him be within us and make us strong and stronger, and let Him provide us greater immunity power with us. Let Him be the power of immunity with us and make our lives more meaningful, purposeful, and enjoyable. God bless you all. Jai Sriman Narayana. Let us conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Om Purnamidam
Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Sriman Narayana,
Purnamevavasishyate. Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Jai Sriman Narayana.
సెరెనిటీ మోడల్ హై స్కూల్ విద్యార్థులకు అమ్మఒడి, సామాన్యులకు అందుబాటులో ఉన్న బడి సెరెనిటీ. మేడ్చల్ జిల్లాలో మేటిగా నిలిచి సాటిలేని ఫలితాలను సాధిస్తున్న నంబర్ 1 స్కూల్ సెరెనిటీ. మా ప్రత్యేకతలు: ప్రతి విద్యార్థి పట్ల వ్యక్తిగత శ్రద్ధ, యాక్టివిటీ బేస్డ్ లెర్నింగ్ అండ్ డిజిటల్ క్లాస్ రూమ్స్, కంప్యూటర్ ల్యాబ్, 100% ఫలితాలు, స్పోర్ట్స్ అండ్ కల్చరల్ యాక్టివిటీస్, యోగా, అబాకస్ మరియు వేదిక్ మ్యాథ్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్. ప్లీజ్ విజిట్ Serenity Model High School, Nagaram. Admissions are in progress. Call 040-271-46899 and 040-271-48699.